Playing Among Us was something I normally did with my friends, calling over Discord and making our own game modes, overall having a fun time. Over time though, they got bored and stopped playing, until me and another friend were the only ones even remotely interested in the game. However, we wouldn't let that get in the way of having fun. On the off chance we were both imposters, we would cause mayhem, and we often played beyond midnight. One day, I joined a call with him and began looking for a server that wasn't full. Hey Peter, do you feel like playing tonight?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty tired. Maybe 1 or 2 games.
Not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed, but I didn't let it show, cause if Peter stopped playing, then I would be a loner. An idea came to my head. Hey, you remember that guy who was talking about room 666?
That's just a stupid story, Joe.
Come on, let's at least try it. There was a pause before he finally spoke.
Fine.
I booted up the game and entered the private code, 666. To my non-surprise, it didn't work. Yo, did it work for you?
Nope. Now we look like idiots. I'm going to sleep now.
With that, Peter disconnected, and I was left alone. I kept trying to join, spamming the button, the box wiggling as it denied every press. Even I didn't feel in the mood anymore. I was about to disconnect and call it a night, when the distinctive noise of someone joining the game sounded. I was in, but there was also someone else already there. His color was red, and he wore nothing. His username? Cruciatus. I typed a message. Hi. There was no reply. I circled around him trying to get his attention. Was he AFK? You there? I went over to the in-game settings. Each option to change was blank. I thought I had stumbled upon a glitch or something, maybe a part of the game I wasn't meant to be in. Peter tried joining and it hadn't worked, so why had it worked for me? Are you there? I said aloud. This was a habit of mine. I would say my messages before typing them. Before I could even send it, he replied.
I am here.
Did you type in 666 as well?
No.
Then how did you get in?
Wanna play around?
You can't play around with only 2 people, dummy.
Watch me.
The game started all of a sudden, but there was no familiar mark of the shh. It just jumped straight into it. A very, very faint lullaby could be heard. Normally all the players would start off around the middle table, and we'd all rush off to do our tasks. This time it was only me. I didn't have a red username, ruling me out as the imposter, but it was as if I was in practice mode. My screen was empty from the typical tasks, pause button, and the map. There was one objective to the top left corner: survive. At this point, I couldn't help but start laughing. Was this supposed to be some sort of half-assed joke? If this was Peter's doing, which I suspected it was, he put a bit too much effort into this. I decided to play into it rather than stop there. He had put in the hard work, so the least I could do was pretend to be scared. I went to the left corridors and began making my way down to electrical. I was confused as I kept walking and walking and walking. The same corridor and paths to the engines and security went flying by. It was like I was in a loop of some sort. Was my speed turned down or something? After about another minute, I decided to swerve into security. And there was Cruciatus. Knowing there were only 2 people in the game, I put 2 and 2 together and was not surprised when he stabbed my in-game character. The kill animation played out, and on the last stab, I felt a jolt of electricity in my back. A pinprick, just about 1,000,000 times worse. I gasped out in pain, looking at my chair for whatever could have hurt that bad. Nothing. I looked back at the screen. We were back in the lobby. Cruciatus had typed something.
Wanna play around?
Peter, what the hell was that?
Watch me.
We were thrown back in the game, same format, and I wasn't the imposter again. Instead of making my way to the left, I went down the center corridor. My back began aching, but I ignored it. As expected, it seemed endless. There was a detail I'd almost missed. My blue character was a little stained almost, small flecks of red across him. I ignored it and kept walking. After a while, I turned into the admin room. Once again, Cruciatus was there, and he went after me. I died once again, my character having his neck snapped. All of a sudden, I started getting a splitting headache, throbs of pain over and over. The game restarted. I tried to call Peter, but there was no answer. Cruciatus was waiting for me in the lobby. Dude, I'm not feeling well. Gotta go.
You aren't going anywhere.
What? I'm going now. See ya. I tried to switch off my PC, but it refused to. I frowned and looked back at the screen. Man, I don't feel like playing anymore.
Watch me.
The round started again. My character was even more grotesque now, his head limp and covered in blood. Seriously, he had put way too much effort into this. I decided to play along one last time and headed right instead. This time, there were no endless corridors to go down. It was perfectly normal from what I could see. The weapons, CO2, navigation, they were all fine. And then I went to the communications room. Plastered on every wall were just the words, I know. Cruciatus came from behind and killed my character, the screen turning off the instant he did so. I sat there for a while. I noticed my left hand was starting to shake uncontrollably. Then I heard whispered words close to my ear.
Watch me.